All right, moving on to the platform settings in the UI here is the first tab you're going to be greeted with is data sources. Now, just like what it sounds like, this is where you're going to configure the data that you want to onboard into the platform. So you can see down here, I've already configured quite a bit of those. If I wanted to go connect up a new one, you'll be greeted with a kind of a pop-up here that's going to show you all the different data sources that are available. And you could narrow it down by, kind of the type of tool it is. Is it an endpoint? Is it an existing SIM, identity, so on and so forth. Now, when you onboard these as well, it's going to take you to the documentation portion of the product, and it's going to walk you through all the steps. So for example, like if we're onboarding AWS, it's going to take you to the CloudFormation template. When you go and connect the AWS data source, it'll automatically take you into the UI. The template will be loaded for you, and just a couple maybe customizations that you'd want to do inside of there. Once the plumbing's all set up and those templates are created, you'll see data start coming inside the environment. You can see last event time, when it was created, how much data you've ingested in whatever time frame that you select. And then also inside of here, this is going to give you an opportunity where if there's additional things that you can configure, you could do those inside of here as well. So I'm going to open up the AWS one, and we can see that I'm primarily bringing in AWS CloudTrail inside of here, some kind of properties that you'd be listing here, just looking at log ingestion over time. And then basically the config status. So all of the different accounts that we have inside of here, other configurable services, so like EKS, VPC flow logs, and I could come over here and click on configure service, and it'll be like, hey, okay, what more do you want to bring on? I could say CloudTrail, and then basically if there was any other buckets that were discovered when we deployed the CloudFormation template, those would be listed inside of here. I could select it and then start collecting future things as well. So, or you might have it's like, hey, we have certain, AWS accounts because maybe we did an organizational onboarding for AWS. We can grab all of your AWS accounts all at once. There might be certain ones that you want to go exclude. So I can simply come inside of here and you can see the structure of those and listen inside of here as well. So that's just a way that you could do just some kind of pruning for maybe environments that you really don't care about. So that's really kind of data sources. Tags, we said we were going to talk about tags a little bit. So here's some of the existing tags, like the user is high risk, DLP scan enabled, environment data inside of here. So you can kind of see there's a key, there's a value, and a description. If you wanted to create brand new ones, you could do so here. And it's going to give the same thing. You want to go pick what the key is. Maybe it's the environment. The value is prod, non-prod, dev, whatever you want to say, and give it a description. Choose your color and get a bit of a preview inside of here. So those are useful just for if you wanted to go search off of different tags, or they were important for flagging, some type of users and things like that into the environment. Integrations. This is going to be where things that we do inside of the response portion of the product, where I want to go email this user, I want to go maybe send a Slack message, things of that nature. That's where you're going to be able to essentially configure the integration inside of here so you can reuse it in the response portion of the product. So you can see we have email, some different workflows, and then like teams inside of here. So there's about 17 different ones you can see from a tenant perspective. And then if you can configure your own ones per user as well, come up here, add a new integration, scroll through all the different selections, and then you can set it up. Essentially, it's typically like via API key or something like that. And then now that once it's available, then it'll be available to use in the response portion of the product. Audit logs, exactly what it sounds like. Basically, if there's particular user activities going on inside the platform, you can come inside of here and do a bit of an audit history and go see like, hey, what changes is Keith making? Where's Keith leveraging the platform at? Those type of things inside of here. And then lastly, projects. So projects for us is a way that we could do role-based access control inside of the tenant. So there might be scenarios where it's like, hey, you own the AWS environment. I only want you to have access to maybe a particular even AWS account inside of here. And these other things, we can lock down the platform. We can lock down data sources based off of projects, and then you assign those to particular users. So what this would look like is I'd come add a new project. Once again, I'm going to be super creative and call this test. And we'll hit next. And I can see that my face, I'm going to slide myself to the other side of the screen here. because I'm getting a little bit of a block on there. There we go. We'll hit next. And now we can add data sources. So for example, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go, I want you to only have access to AWS related information. I'll select AWS. It says, do you want to narrow this down to accounts? Sure. Let's go narrow down to accounts. And then after we do that, we hit next. And now I can start adding in users and groups. Like, so here's all the groups that are available. Maybe I want it to only be for the support group. And then we can come in here and add any further permissions, select the different roles. So like maybe UAM user additional, and then add a new project. And then so now that if I've been added to a group already inside of there, and I'm in that group that I selected, when I log in, and I'm going to move myself back here really quick, is that over here, you're going to see the project that you're a part of. Now, you're not going to be able to see other projects that are inside of here, only the ones that you've been assigned. And there might be a scenario where you have multiple projects assigned to you, and you can select between those inside of here. And this is also where you have an opportunity, if you're an administrator, that you can come in here and create new projects this way as well. So that wraps up the platform settings, and next we will dive into the settings, which will be the finale for this demo series. Thank you.